All right, real quick, just want to address this comment. It says, "Hey JR, show me the picture of your drilling. In other words, the pin position would greatly be appreciated in deciding on ball." Now, there's a problem with this, and there's a reason why I have a hard time showing what my layout looks like, because what it looks like does not matter. And I've said this before, and I just want to make sure I re-clarify this for everybody. Just because the pin is, say, above my middle finger and the CG's kicked out 45 degrees, that doesn't mean if you put your pin in that same spot with the CG in the same direction that the ball is going to roll the same for you. And the reason for that is because my positive axis and the way I throw the ball is completely different than your positive axis and the way you throw the ball. So let's say, I'm 4 3/4 over and 1 1/8 up. So if you are, let's say, 3.5 over and 1/2 inch down, that's going to make that pin a lot closer for you than it would be for me. A 5.5 inch pin, which is what that layout normally is, would be more like a 3.5 inch layout for you based on your PAP if it was 3.5 versus my 4 3/4 estimated. So it makes a big difference on what and how you throw the ball, how your hand fits in the ball, the rotation you create, are you higher tilt, lower tilt, all these things. So how you lay out a ball needs to be based on how you throw the ball, not on how I throw the ball. What you can do is just pay attention to the numbers that I present to you. So like when I say, all right, this layout is 45 by 4.5 by 45. If you put that layout on your ball, typically you're going to get something similar to the type of shape that my ball is making, that you're seeing on the lanes. You're going to get a similar shape. Is it going to be exact? No, because you may be a little bit higher tilt, you may be a little bit lower rotation or higher rotation or whatever it may be. You just may rotate the ball different than me, which will make the ball react and respond a little bit different. But as far as how the ball is going to migrate, how the core is going to transition through the lane, it's going to be similar because you put the same type of layout on the ball as to what I had. So don't go thinking you can look at somebody's ball and be like, ooh, I like that pin above the ring. I'm going to try that for me. Now you can, and then you can go and throw it and try it, but that doesn't mean you have the same layout as that person. So just keep this in mind. Kind of try to retrain your brain to not look at pin positions and stuff for other people's bowling balls. Retrain your mind to only think about like pin numbers, like the actual angle numbers that somebody is using to create the layout that they're trying to create. Just think about the numbers. Don't think about what you actually see on the ball, and your success rate for creating the reactions and stuff that you want will go way up. I highly recommend just making sure you head to a pro shop that actually finds your positive axis point, because I know 95% of pro shops actually do not do this. They just throw 3 holes in a ball, and they think just putting the ring, because they're like, oh, you're just a league bowler anyway. You only bowl in this league, so we're just going to put the pin above your ring and we'll call it good. And a lot of the times that it works out just fine. But if you want to actually narrow down the details and you really want to create specific types of ball motions, you need to know your positive axis point. If they don't know that you're a high axis tilt type player and they give you a short pin, your ball's going to look like it's not doing anything, or it's going to be hitting and deflecting the entire time because you are a higher tilt player. You need to have longer pins to keep it on its axis longer. So if a pro shop's not watching you bowl, if they're not seeing your ball roll, if they're not finding your PAP, putting that little piece of tape on it and watching it go down the lane, the chances of them getting your layout correct is slim to none. Honestly, it really is. So make sure you're going to a shop that knows what the heck they're doing. Make sure the 2 things I would always ask walking into a pro shop: A, do you drill oval thumbs? And B, do you find a bowler's PAP out on the lanes to drill a ball? If the answer is no to either one of those, you could get away with a shop that doesn't drill oval thumbs. Not everybody needs an oval thumb. Newer bowlers probably don't need an oval thumb. But if you're trying to get better at bowling, shaping the thumb according to the shape of your thumb is really important for making sure you release it the same way every time, and B, being able to release it, in whatever way that you want to release it. So you're not determined, your release isn't determined on, how swelled up your thumb is that day, because the oval is big enough or right for the side of your thumb to where even if you have just a little bit of swelling, it's not going to be that big a deal. If the thumb is circle, that means the thumb is going to be huge front to back. If you have a fairly flat thumb, the circle is going to be huge front to back, which means you're going to have to cram tape in the front, so that way side to side it stays okay, because they're going to drill the hole based on the side to side fit. Like you look at my thumb, you can see how flat it is here, and then when I turn, see how skinny it is there? Big difference there. So I would have to drill it to the size of this size in order to, be able to get my thumb in it. But then when my thumb's actually in it, I'm going to have a ton of room front to back, because I'm going to be able to do this in the hole, because my thumb is much skinnier this way than it is this way. And it's even more dramatic when you look at my bowling thumb. It's fat this way, much skinnier this way. See that? Big, big difference in there. So I have a pretty big oval in my thumb. If you're not using ovals, you're losing out on a lot of feel. If you're not using tape, you're losing out on a lot of feel. You should have tape in your thumb hole all the time. I mean, I could go on and on and on about all these things that you have to do, but I promise you, just go find a good pro shop. Have them. I mean, if you can't find a good pro shop, come see me. I get people that fly into Detroit and come up to the shop all the time. I get a lot of out-of-state people. I got people coming from out of the country to come and get their balls fit. So if you've got the money and you got the time, come on out. If you're coming from a long distance, I'll give you a price break, because all I really want to see is I just want to see you be successful. I want to make sure you get bowling balls that fit your hand properly. So that's all I got for you. I'm getting the beans out of here, and yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you. I think that's pretty much it. Can y'all think of anything? Anything at all? If you got questions or anything like that, make sure to comment. A lot of the times I like to pick out comments like this and screen grab them and talk about them. Just a good opportunity to really explain some things out and to be able to make more educational type videos. So make sure to comment, hit the like button, subscribe for me, and until next time, I'm getting out of here. We'll see you guys later.